Virtual reality and the technologies of its use penetrate ever deeper into the life of modern man. They make it more rich and diverse. They help in work and study and simplify leisure activities. Thanks to these technologies, one can travel without leaving home and try out different historical roles, medieval knights, noblemen, or merchants of old, and all that without a time machine. In the modern age, devices that simulate reality in a remote mode are quite popular and widespread. Today in the program Made in Ukraine, we will talk about how such new modern-age devices function and why they have become so popular and high in demand. One of the main activities of this enterprise is the development of technical training facilities. To put it simply, it creates a wide range of simulators. This is a simulator for a subway engineer. It was devised to find solutions to non-standard situations that might happen while riding in the subway. We program all this ourselves. Electronics are custom-made in our shop for this console. The task of the simulator is to develop the skills of a driver in correct and quick response to different unforeseen situations. The safety and security of passengers' lives will largely depend on these skills. The task of the driver is to use the capabilities of the simulator to bring his algorithm of actions to different automatons in various emergency situations. This is not a prototype, rather a working model. Such a simulator has been used for several years in the Kazakhstan subway system. Drivers of subway trains constantly work out a certain time on this simulator. They have a special schedule there, and they come and spend as much time as is needed to gain experience on the simulator. We're gradually improving the functionality of this simulator. We receive feedback from Kazakhstan and take this into account in improving this device. The operator starts the simulator. The subway tunnels are displayed on a special screen. The controls of the simulator fully correspond to the console in the driver's cabin regarding their placement and response. This corresponds to the cabin of a Hyundai Rotem car. We have similar cars, though they do not have such an arrangement. This is exclusively for the subway. In the course of training program, various unforeseen situations are built into the simulator program, which it simulates and forces the driver to react very quickly. The screen schematically depicts images of subway cars, their speed, voltage in the network, symbols of fire and smoke detectors, and the couplings between the train cars. A dynamic platform which moves in accordance with the relief movement of subway traffic can easily be attached to this simulator. This additional feature makes the training session even more realistic. But now it is disconnected. We simply show it visually. At the moment, this platform is fully operational in the Kazakhstan subway system. It houses a subway car in which the driver sits and fully controls the movement of the subway cars. This simulator serves for the driving instructions. Many driving schools today use such simulators, which makes it possible to reduce the cost of fuel. Driving in such a simulator is almost no different from driving a real car. If a person learns to drive by training on this simulator, driving a standard automobile will be quite easy and comfortable. When I first sat on the simulator, I always looked at the pedals and the buttons that I pushed, and now I don't even need to look at what buttons I'm pushing. I keep my eyes on the track rather than the pedals and levers. One of the most important properties of simulators is they allow to perform group exercises. Multiple devices can be combined into a network on the instructor's workplace in order to receive simultaneous tasks for their synchronous execution. This is especially useful when it is used in military training exercises and in different manufacturing plants. Various simulators of this type are actively used in learning institutions and specialized colleges for law enforcement agencies. Kharkiv Polytechnical Institute Armored Vehicles Department. This is a cross truck, which is based on the simulator of the cabin. Here there are 3 KRAS, 2 KRAS and 1 KAMAZ. They are all in the network and travel between themselves in a column, performing the tasks assigned. The simulators are loaded with a special program, which is accessible for teachers. Each instructor that uses these devices can insert their own library content, theory, questions, and much more into this program. All sorts of tests, drawings, pictures, interactive posters, photos, stereo slides, and so on. In addition to driving instructions, with the help of such simulators, cadets can learn the rules of the road, the internal arrangement of the car, and more. Take, for example, the mode of operation of the simulator of one of the main military armored transport vehicles of the Ukrainian army, the classic uatv-80. This virtual simulator can approach closer, look at what must be done, and study the instrument panel. With the help of interactive screen, we can perform all these tasks manually, meaning without the use of a mouse. Now we have completed the task. In the exam mode, we're not given any hints. We have a specific task. Time passes quickly, and the program fixes all the errors. And this is the training mode for the tractor. Seeing as we have a training mode, we're shown where we need to perform a certain task, and here we're given a hint. That is, we choose a mode, click the check mark, and if it's correct, we can go further. Now the instructor shows pupils how the program works when learning how to properly drive a crane. In this case, we always have the training mode to support us, and then we get prepared for lunch. That is, we turn on the simulator, we got through verification, and then we can move, get closer, and see the object we have come up to. The monitor displays those very same indicators that the driver can see from behind the wheel of a real truck with a crane. The categories of simulators range from expensive to complex. The most expensive ones are semi-natural mounted on a dynamic platform. The cheapest one is a virtual simulator, which has a very high throughput, due to the fact that you can easily place a student at each workstation, where the student will quickly learn how to use it. When creating programs for different types of cars and equipment, developers collect all the necessary information, process it, and devise procedural algorithms for their functionality. In addition to that, they describe the dashboard, namely which controls will be used and what is needed for using this program. Then, based on this information, they create a software for programming and draw a model of this amazing high-tech machine. If a person in desperate need of such a car, they name the brand of the car and provide certain nuances that must be taken into account when developing such high-tech simulators. Simulators are absolutely safe in training, both for the students themselves and for the designers. In addition to that, they do not need to spend the fuel that is necessary for training on standard vehicles and other types of machines. More recently, high-tech experts consider such technologies to be a product of the future. But for many of us, this future device is no longer virtual. On the contrary, it has already become totally real.